We're now going to look at financial inclusion from a different lens, from the perspective of the role of digital investment platforms in enabling wealth creation. And to that end, I'd like to welcome Nosaibah Alrajhi, the founder of Forus Invest. He's going to talk a little bit about the role that digital can play in inclusion, wealth creation, and driving wealth opportunities for the wider region. Probably better to use that.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, end of the day, big crowd. Thank you so much. There's many panels have spoken a lot about financial inclusion, banking, shaping the future of banking, and where we are. I think what we want to focus on next is on investing and financial inclusion within the investing sphere. My name is Nosaibah Alrajhi. I'm the founder and CEO of Forus, one of the largest fintechs in Saudi Arabia. We enable everyday people, individuals, institutions, corporates to invest in small and medium enterprise. So let's begin. So first of all, we want to kind of delve into the statistics of diversity and into inclusion, and there's a huge inequality divide. So only the top 1% of over 40% of the world are banked and have access to funding. And looking at the numbers today, the unbanked population, as you see, is mainly focused on the higher economies. High-income economies, 95%. Those are huge numbers. Now, we've talked a lot about inclusion and women specifically, and they represent a very small margin of the banked. And we've heard a lot today about why are these people unbanked? Why don't they have access to banking? And one of the main reasons is documentation. And documentation is now linked to education and financial literacy. So, as you can see, the unbanked population worldwide is huge. 1.7 billion people remain unbanked, many from low-income countries. Now, these low-income countries also suffer from a lack of infrastructure. And we see that especially in the sub-Saharan Africa, where only 66% are unbanked, which is a very, very low margin. Now, we've talked a lot today about the problem, but what is the solution? What is the solution to including these margins within banking? How do we encourage them to invest? How do we encourage them to create wealth for themselves? And that's where kind of digital finance comes in. Now, with digital finance comes in penetration of the infrastructure, penetration of telecommunication. So as you can see, we have the rise of digital finance through access to mobile phones and to internet throughout the globe. And that's a huge relationship between finance and inclusion and the economy. All right, so moving to digital investment. So 1.4 trillion has been invested globally in platforms. I believe throughout the past few years, investing has been marginalized to banks, institutions, and it was kind of very boxed away from individuals. So it was very difficult for individuals to even think about wealth, think about investing. They were very conditioned to be a spending economy rather than an investment economy. Now, for us, we focus on crowdfunding. So we want to give equal opportunity to all. And how do we do that? Peer-to-peer lending, 1.7 trillion, that's a huge number globally. And we hope to double that number. 34 billion in crowdfunding. And we will see those numbers grow digitally. But let's talk about the solution. So, where is finance going? Where is investing going? Let's think about how will the financial industry change. Now, I heard someone talk about banks, and banks will disappear. And I think we've agreed today banks will not disappear, but they will change. And how will they change? Banks, and for me as a fintech, banks will become our back office. They do our back office operation, they do our transactions, they help us make the business run. One thing we need to understand is that for the past few years, banks have focused mainly on deposits. The main focus on a business, the main focus on banks, how do they compete? They compete on deposits. But that will definitely change. If we look at crypto, if we looked at different assets, different investment assets, creating value for the end user is more important today than creating deposits. Personalized lifestyle, I think everyone today is too busy to worry about what they are doing. Do I need a loan? Do I need a credit card? Do I even know if I need a credit card? That's really important that AI and customized and embedded finance really helps you make those tough decisions. So enhancing financial well-being is part of that AI journey. And it's how do I create wealth? How does AI help me build my wealth? That's a very important question to ask. So other aspects that we are looking at in terms of the new era of finance. Imagine AI is refinancing your mortgage without you even thinking about it. How do we unbundle financial services so that they are not, so they are customized for you as an end user? Non-custodial wallets, blockchain, that's where it comes in. So instead of the bank being the custodian of your money, custodian of your wallet, you have blockchain where you can control what you do with your money. And finally, we have alternative investing. So alternative investing is allowing everyday people to invest in assets that were usually only for sophisticated investors and allowing them to build their wealth. And you know, it's really important to focus on the lower income. Lower income individuals oftentimes do not think about investing, do not think about building wealth and planning for the future. And that's kind of where all of this comes in. So how have we at Forus really focused on the positive ways that we are contributing to financial well-being, financial inclusion, allowing everyday people to invest and participate in this economy? And that's number one, through technology. Technology allowed us to reach near and far people who live in villages or small towns who do not have access to these types of things. So financial inclusion through technology. Technology, I think, is the one that really helped us. So 56% of our users have experienced lower costs, and that has been absolutely fundamental. From $4 to 82 cents, I think that is a huge discount for everyday people. Now I want to move on to something else. What is our vision for the future? What is our vision for financial inclusion? Again, I think bridging the gap between men and women and having equal access to investment opportunities is very important, and we've been able to reach over 25,000 ladies who in the past have never thought about investing. The second thing is impact investing. So impact investing is a huge part of any fintech, and how do we reach these economies and how do we reach these communities? Over 715 billion have invested in 2022. And we believe that increasing that will definitely bridge the gap in financial inclusion. Next, we have DeFi. So decentralized finance, which is one of the core and most important elements of what's next in finance and the financial industry. So we are actively working on decentralizing our finance and allowing us to smoothly, without any borders, interact with different borders. I mean, today still, we're working in a very traditional market. We're not allowed to go beyond the Saudi borders. But how do we then use DeFi to go beyond those borders and work with people from anywhere in the world, whether in India or Egypt or anywhere, China, etc.? Finally, we have regulations. Now, Regulations is a tricky one. And you know, regulators are usually very risk averse, and they're very concerned with the risks associated with fintechs. But how do we work with regulators to then deregulate a certain industry? And one thing is to be very collaborative, opening a dialogue with the regulator, using use cases, and sharing different research on the different solutions. So instead of presenting a problem to the regulator, present a solution. Now, in conclusion, I think we wanted to keep this short, but we want to focus on financial literacy and how do we help people engage and enter new markets? How do we allow everyday people to invest, even with a small amount of money, is our mission and where we are today. And thank you for your time.